All right, homies. Saturday today. I'm just heading out for a little drive, country drive. I got to pick up a torch lighter as well. Just threw a brisket on the smoker this morning. Gonna let that smoke all day. And then add a few extra pellets in the smoke tube, which I need a torch lighter to light. And I thought that I would also take you on a little drive and have a little chat about life, about business, just off the cuff. And what I was thinking about today is this idea around scaling your business, trying to hit financial goals, and what that all even fucking means. Because January, I hit my first $30,000 month. I think I did around $30,522 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. And that was awesome. Super exciting. It was a goal that I had wanted to hit. For some context, if you didn't know, about 12 months ago, I only started this business about 12 months ago. I share that whole story on my other channel, but yeah, it was super, super awesome, super exciting. And, I'm in part of this business mentorship right now called Scale 20 with Tom Youngs, who's an awesome individual, and we're having a great time. But his whole thing is like, scaling to 20 months or 20K a month, then 40K a month, then 60K a month, 80K a month, and then the elusive $100,000 a month. And he has this whole graduated system of how to get to 100K a month. But it really had me thinking, as a 36-year-old man, I'm single, I don't have children. What the fuck do I need 100K a month for? I'm not the kind of dude that has aspirations to build a giant company at the cost, or a giant business, or whatever, a big life even, at the cost of the things that I love, right? And so there's kind of this pervasive idea on the internet that you need to scale to, now the big number is 100K a month, right? It used to be 10K a month was a thing. Now it feels really like 10K a month is actually not enough, at least in this part of the world, for a lot of what people want. Like $120,000 a year after tax or before taxes. It's not a whole lot of money. So really $20,000 seems like a good goal. But yet, I hit 20K last year. I had a few months I hovered between $15,000 and $20,000, $22,000, $19,000. And it was great. And yet, there is a part of me that wants to move the goalpost. Okay, 30K a month, great. Now we got to hit 40. Oh, great. And now when I get to 40, I want to hit 60. And now when I get to 60, I want to hit 80, etc. And we kind of get programmed, especially if we're in the business space, the creator space, as entrepreneurs, that it's the next target, without really understanding how much money we actually need in our life. So few people calculate what I would call like your freedom number, right? Like, what's the actual amount of money that you need in your life to do whatever the fuck you want? But most importantly, what are you not willing to give up in your life to hit that number? Because that's the real conversation here, right? Like, that's what you really want to be thinking about. $80,000, $100,000 a month, cool, you can do a lot of stuff. But what is it costing you? For me, what would I do with more than $30,000 a month, really? Like, what do I need to do? I don't even know. I love to travel every 3 or 4 months, go on surf trips, go somewhere hot and beautiful, which generally that's cheaper than living in this part of the world. I like to eat good, wholesome, organic food. I like to train jiu-jitsu. I like to buy clothes occasionally. I like to take my friends out for dinner. That's about it. Put some money away and save it. But anything beyond that, like, if it's gonna have me give up the things that I love, if I can train jiu-jitsu less or hit the gym less, if I have to train jiu-jitsu less or hit the gym less, or I can't travel as much, or I lose that kind of freedom, an extra 10, 20 grand a month is not worth it to me. My time is so much more valuable than that money. And so this isn't to yuck anybody's yum, but one thing that I'm having my students do in Feral Creator this round, and I had them do it last round, but I actually built a GPT around that this time, is put in all like, okay, what's the rent that you want to pay? How much money do you want to put away a month for investments? What's your food cost? What's your this cost, subscription costs, business costs, right? What are your margins? Really getting into the nitty gritty, like how much do you want to put away for travel? Do you want to support your family with your money, etc.? Like having them lay out all these actual ballpark numbers, and then, you know, work in taxes, work in putting money away in investments, etc., and come up with an actual monthly number that would suit the lifestyle that they need. And for most people, it's far less than we think. Like, we get fixated on these numbers. For a lot of people, $20,000 a month, even before tax, is enough for their life. I don't fucking care about having luxury cars. I don't fucking care about living in a big house. In fact, I think it's retarded. I think that stuff's stupid. I think it's a waste of money. Most people that live in big houses use about 3 of the rooms. Right? The living room, the kitchen, and the bedroom, and the fucking wings of their house don't get used. Who cares about your new car? I don't really care. It's fun to drive a fast car once in a while. I can rent them. I drive a 2018 4Runner. It's reliable as fuck. It's cheap to repair. It's cheap to maintain. And I love it. Like, I fucking love this machine. I wouldn't trade it for the world. The only thing that I would buy is a newer 4Runner at some point. You know, this has got 160,000 miles on it, like 230,000 kilometers or whatever that is. I do not give a flying fuck. Every time I get outside my house and I look at my car, I'm happy, right? And so it's important to really know what that number is so you're actually aiming at the right things, because it's so easy to get lost in the sauce. I'll tell you, like December 2024, about 14 months ago, I made like $1,200 in my business. Obviously struggling. Had to borrow a bit of money from a friend, borrow money from my dad. I think I borrowed $1,000 from my dad, right? Like, okay, I get it. I want to get out of the struggle. And then I hit $7,000 a month. Okay, like now I'm doing okay, right? And then 15, and then 19, 18, $20,000 a month. And after that, and you start putting money in the bank, and you have enough that's going to last you for 4, 5, 6 months, and you're okay, and you're still doing all the things you love. I traveled to Bali. I spent a month in Bali studying Qigong. I traveled to Mexico a bunch of times. I went surfing in Nicaragua on an all-expenses surf trip. You know, I was surfing in Bali. I went to California, saw some friends. I went back to Canada. You know, I went on a couple of retreats that I wanted to go on. I was able to do literally everything that I wanted to do, making about $15,000 a month. Let's say on average I made $18,000, right? I was able to do everything. And so going for $40,000 a month, why? If I have to change anything in my life, if I have to compromise anything in my life, I'm not going to do it. And my invitation to you is to don't get sucked into the fucking YouTubers. Don't get sucked into the algorithm. Don't get sucked into this yearning and desire for more without any reason as to why. Like, why do I need more? Not how do I get more? What can I improve in my business? But like, what am I willing to do? How much do I want to work? What's the actual lifestyle that I want? If you want fucking a Lamborghini because you actually enjoy cars, not because you need it as a status symbol, go for it. You know, earn the millions of dollars that's going to take to buy a $250,000 car. But if you're someone like me who has a bit more self-awareness or wants to have more self-awareness and understands that like my status isn't dependent on the car I drive or the square footage of my house, but rather who I am as a man and the freedom that I have. Because here's the truth. If like super high status people, if that's what you're worried about, they don't need to flash their stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm some fucking maverick or super high status person. I actually don't really give a shit about that stuff. But you don't need to flash your fucking shit. That's posturing. Like, that's peacocking. And peacocking is for fucking lames, right? And so don't get sucked into this world that you think you have to peacock and continually fight and climb this ladder of revenue and scaling. Why? Why don't you scale the metrics in your life that matter? Scale your time with your children if you have them. Scale the time that you can spend working out, pursuing your passions, whatever you're into. I want to take a month off every year and go into the backcountry like I have for several years, 2022, 2024. Take a month off and just go do my primitive skills adventures in the backcountry, be completely off my phone and off technology. How can I do that when I have a huge team that I'm managing and I just fuck off for a month with zero contact? I can't. I want to go to Burning Man a bunch of years without having to worry about work. I want to fucking travel. And, you know, yesterday I took most of the day off on Friday, drove a friend to the airport. We had lunch together, had a long chat, went to the gym, went to jiu-jitsu. And then last night I went and saw some bass music with my buddy. Didn't work at all. I didn't have anyone to answer to. I don't have clients to answer to at that time. I don't even really do one-on-one clients anymore, even though I'm full. I have 3 full one-on-one clients, and I have capacity to fit a lot more in my schedule, but I don't want to because it's going to impede on the lifestyle that I want. So that means I'm leaving, you know, 2, 5, 6 grand on the table each month that I could have in additional one-on-one work. You know, I charge 2 grand a month right now, and I don't want to do that. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth it. So your business, you have to consider it's kind of like every single thing that you add, every single client you have, every single program or offer that you have, every single person that's accountable to you, if you have staff, they are a thread tugging at your consciousness, right? They're entangled in your consciousness. And the more tangled that your consciousness is, the less you're going to be able to rest and relax and be in a state of ease and flow on the day-to-day, right? So you have 2 choices. You either don't make so many entanglements in your business, you make it really fucking simple, or you do the incredible amount of work that it takes to be able to rest with a highly entangled brain, which I actually don't think is quite possible. I mean, everybody has a different capacity for holding stress. I actually think mine is quite high. I think if I wanted to, I could hold a lot more in my business, but what it would require of me, I'm not really interested in pursuing. Oh, that stop sign came out quickly. I'm not really interested in pursuing that. And so there's no right or wrong in any of this. I'm not saying for people that have big lofty aspirations of building a multi-million-dollar a year business to not go for it. It would be cool to make $1 million in a year. But like, to be completely fucking honest, if I take inflation out of it and I take the rising cost of living, if I made $500,000 a year and that tracks over the rest of my life, I would be completely content. Even with a family. Like, fuck, my kids don't need to be spoiled fucking rotten. I certainly wasn't. $500,000 a year and I could have the lifestyle that I have now, the business that I have now, which is very possible that I could hit in this year. What more could I ask for? You know, what is that? $40-something thousand a month? $42,000 a month or something like that? Before tax, after tax, you know, maybe 25, 30% less. What do I need more? What? All right. I know exactly what I want in my life. I'm saving up money for the Farrell farm. I want a nice piece of land. $500,000 a year that I'm earning could definitely move in that direction the next 4 or 5 years. Right? And so much of life has nothing to do with growing faster in our business or scaling bigger. It doesn't bring me, it's a momentary, like, I remember when I hit $30,000, because it was just a few weeks ago I did my numbers, and I was like, huh, there it is. And I had a moment of like, yay. Like literally a fraction of a fucking second, I hit this goal. Okay, cool. Now what? I wake up, I'm the same fucking dude. I have the same desires. I just have a little bit more money in the bank, a little bit more clout, and that's it. Doesn't mean fuck all. So, my recommendation would be to pencil out every single expense that you have in your life right now. And if there's things that you want to upgrade a bit, like let's say you're paying $1,500 rent for a 1-bedroom and you're like, actually what I really want is a 3-bedroom home. So that's going to cost me $3,500 a month in a mortgage, or $4 grand a month in a mortgage. Then fucking ballpark that number. Like, don't make it your numbers right now, but make it the numbers of your ideal life. But be fucking honest. Like, don't just throw out insane numbers because that's what everybody else is doing, or try to find a way to spend all the $80,000 a month that you're hoping to make. No, work from what would be really good right now in my life? Like if I could earn, if I could live in this home and it costs this much, if I could have $15,000 a year dedicated just to taking trips with my honey, or whatever it is, I want to buy one guitar every 2 years that's like $6,000, maybe a custom shop Les Paul or something like that, right? Like factor that in, write everything out, whatever your stuff is, and then calculate what's the honest number, right, that I need to make, and then add whatever tax you would on top of that. So add another 30% or whatever it is, so you can get an idea of what you need to earn pre-tax. And then what I do with my students is I have them really start to crunch the numbers of like, okay, well, how much would your offers need to be in your business, right? What is the actual number of students that you'd need if you had a group program, or how many one-on-one clients would you need at what price to hit that target monthly? And like I said, people begin to realize that number is so much lower than we think. But don't get caught in this bullshit that you need to make $100,000 a month, because it's an insane amount of work. Like making $30,000 a month was not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a ton of work. It doesn't just happen. So if I want to triple that, is it going to cost triple, or is it going to be triple the amount of work? Probably not. But is it going to be double? It might, right? Double the amount of work to get up to $100,000. Do I want to work twice as much right now just to hit 100K? No. We'll see. What's most important to me is that I can do the things I love every single day. I can wake up when I want, and I have total time and geographic autonomy. If you want to learn about how I did all this, how I actually scaled my business from literally $0 January 1st, 2025 to did about $170,000 last year. So this kind of just little micro business, and probably going to do about $250,000 and beyond this year. If you want to learn how I did all that, one-man show, no ads, no sleazy sales, none of that garbage, go ahead, in the description. I made a 28-day little mini course. It's just a 3-minute email a day for 28 days, and it goes through my whole Feral Creator process. And then, of course, you can jump on the Feral Creator waitlist, where I teach everything that I know about building kind of a micro, one-person, 6-figure business for people who want a life, who don't want to sell their soul to the algorithm, who want to be fully expressed in the world. Doors to the next Feral Creator will open in April. I'll drop the waitlist below. But yeah, hope you guys are having a splendid day, and I hope you like these raw talks. I'm going to keep playing around with them, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.